Assalamu alaikum. Today's lecture is for F.Sc Part 2. The chapter is S and P block elements, and the topic is chemical reactions of elements of period 3, elements of period 3 with water, oxygen and chlorine. And chlorine. First we study the reaction with water. In period 3 we have the elements sodium, atomic number 11, as we have already discussed, magnesium 12, aluminium 13, silicon 14, phosphorus 15, sulfur 16, chlorine 17 and argon 18. Sodium when added to water, cold water, reacts explosively to produce an alkaline solution of sodium hydroxide, aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide and liberate hydrogen gas. Sodium solid react with liquid water to produce aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide and liberate hydrogen gas. This reaction is highly exothermic. Now, due to this liberated heat, the hydrogen which is produced during the reaction, it may catch fire. The hydrogen may catch fire in some cases due to liberated heat. Now, sodium, this hydrogen, sodium will always catch fire in water under 3 conditions. Sodium will always catch fire if, number 1, we use a large piece of sodium. If we add a large piece of sodium into water. Second, if we use hot water. In this case, we are providing some heat and some heat is liberated from the reaction. So the amount of heat increases and sodium catches fire. Third, if we stop the movement of sodium metal on the surface of water. When sodium is put into water, it moves on the surface of water, performing very rapid reaction. And if we stop the movement of sodium metal on the surface of water, then the heat will be localized and it will become more effective and the hydrogen will catch fire. Second reaction is that of magnesium. Magnesium does not react with cold water, it reacts with hot water. Hot water at a normal speed. When a piece of sodium is, when a magnesium foil is dropped into water, it is water, and we have a piece of magnesium or piece of magnesium ribbon is dropped into water, then magnesium reacts with water, 2H2O, in the presence of heat to produce magnesium hydroxide and solution and liberate hydrogen gas. Now, the hydrogen gas which is produced beneath the surface of, beneath the foil, it applies pressure on the foil and brings it to the surface of water. This magnesium hydroxide forms a layer on the surface of magnesium, and the hydrogen bubbles which are produced beneath the magnesium foil, they apply an upthrust and they bring the magnesium ribbon up to the surface. Reaction of magnesium with steam is fast. Magnesium reacts, magnesium burns in steam. Magnesium plus water in the form of steam. Magnesium burns in steam with a white flame, white intense flame, and produces magnesium oxide and liberates hydrogen gas. Magnesium oxide is a white solid. It reacts rapidly with steam to produce magnesium oxide and liberate hydrogen gas. Now the third reaction is that of aluminium. Aluminium reacts with steam to produce aluminium oxide. The reaction is Al solid plus H2O steam, and it produces aluminium oxide and liberate hydrogen gas. Here we have 3 H2O, 3 oxygen and 3 oxygen, 2 aluminium, 2 aluminium, and here we have 6 oxygen, so we have here 3 H2. The reaction is slowed down due to the formation of aluminium oxide layer. White phosphorus reacts with steam to give phosphorus trioxide and phosphorus pentaoxide. It produces a mixture of phosphorus trioxide P4O6 plus H2, or it reacts with steam to produce phosphorus pentoxide and liberate hydrogen gas. Chlorine gas dissolves in water to give a greenish solution containing hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid. The reaction is Cl2 gas plus water liquid. We get a mixture containing HCl solution in aqueous solution and HOCl in aqueous solution. This reaction will occur if we are performing the reaction in dark. However, in the presence of sunlight, the hypochlorous acid which may be produced during the process, hypochlorous acid, may react with itself to produce HCl, and oxygen gas will be produced. Thus, the overall reaction in the presence of sunlight, here we balance the first equation. Here we are in the second reaction, we have used 2 moles of HOCl. Therefore, in the first reaction we also balance it and we multiply it by 2. Now the overall reaction in dark will be 2Cl2 plus 2H2O. We will get 4HCl plus O2. Now this reaction will be occurring in the presence of sunlight, and the first reaction will be taking place in dark. So in dark we will get a solution containing hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid, but in the presence of light we will get only hydrochloric acid and oxygen gas will be liberated. Argon does not react with water. If you look at the trend of reactivity along the period, we observe that the reactivity is decreasing along the period, and it is indicated from the fact that sodium explodes in water, in cold water, and is highly reactive. Magnesium only reacts with hot water, which means that it is less reactive, therefore some heat is also required to perform the reaction. Aluminium and silicon and phosphorus, they react with steam. It shows that as we move along the period 3, the reactivity of elements towards water generally decreases. Now consider the second reaction of period 3 elements, and that is reaction with oxygen or air. Sodium metal burns with golden yellow flame in air. Yellow flame, and it produces a mixture containing sodium oxide and sodium peroxide, which is a white solid mixture. The reactions are: first reaction, which leads to sodium oxide, is sodium plus oxygen, Na2O. 2O, 2 oxygen, 4 sodium, solid, gas and white solid. Second reaction, in which sodium peroxide is formed, can be written as 2Na solid plus O2 gas. Here we write ignite. We have to burn this sodium in flame. Now here we also write ignite. Upon ignition, sodium reacts with oxygen to produce a mixture of sodium oxide and sodium peroxide. The first reaction is for sodium oxide, and the second reaction is for sodium peroxide, which is also a white solid. Magnesium burns in oxygen with an intense white flame. And here we also get magnesium oxide, which is a white solid. The reaction is 2Mg solid plus O2 gas. Ignite, we get 2MgO, magnesium oxide. It is also known as magnesia. It is a white solid also. Aluminium in period 3, when aluminium foil is burnt in air or a flame, it produces aluminium oxide, burns with an intense flame also, with a brilliant flame, and produces aluminium oxide. When aluminium foil is heated, we get aluminium oxide. The reaction is Al plus O2, Al2O3, ignite. The 3 oxygen, here we have 2 oxygen. First we balance oxygen, 3 into 2, 6, 2 3s are 6. And here we have 4 aluminium, solid, gas and solid. Now, after some time, if we are using an aluminium foil, after some time a layer of aluminium oxide will develop on the surface of aluminium, and the reaction may stop due to formation of protective oxide layer, and aluminium may become passive. It may become passive, a phenomenon which is known as passivity of metals. However, when aluminium powder is sprinkled over the flame, if aluminium in the form of powder is sprinkled over the flame, it will burn with bright sparkles. Due to vigorous reaction, it will burn with bright sparkles, and the same reaction will occur, but in this case the reaction will not stop and it will go on till completion. Now, silicon burns in oxygen to produce silicon dioxide. Phosphorus, white phosphorus, catches fire spontaneously in damp air and produces a mixture of phosphorus pentaoxide and phosphorus trioxide. We get a mixture of phosphorus trioxide and phosphorus pentaoxide. The reactions are P plus O2, P4 plus O2, ignite in damp air. Oxygen is present in damp air containing some moisture, and it will produce P4O6. And the second reaction which take place in damp air is phosphorus plus 5O2 gas, and we get P4O10, phosphorus pentaoxide. Sulfur burns with a blue flame in oxygen, light blue flame, and produces a colorless gas with the smell of burning feather, that is sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide gas is formed S plus O2, sulfur solid. Oxygen gas is present in air. We ignite sulfur and we get sulfur dioxide. The flame color is light blue, and the product formed is sulfur dioxide, which is a colorless gas with the smell of burning feathers. The third reaction of period 3 elements is the reaction with chlorine. Sodium burns in atmosphere of chlorine with an orange flame. It burns in chlorine gas with an orange flame. To produce a white solid, the product formed is a white solid, that is the table salt sodium chloride. The reaction is 2Na solid plus Cl2 gas, heat or ignite, we get 2NaCl solid, which is a white solid. Magnesium reacts with chlorine and produces, it burns with a white flame in chlorine and produces a white solid, magnesium chloride. Magnesium solid, chlorine gas, and we get magnesium chloride, white solid. Aluminium, if we take a tube and aluminium foil or aluminium powder is combined with chlorine gas, it is a tube filled with chlorine gas, and we place aluminium and we heat it, we are continuously passing a current of chlorine. Current of chlorine gas is passing through the tube. So when aluminium is heated in a current of chlorine in a sealed tube, the tube is sealed, we are continuously giving chlorine in a sealed tube so that it will react with chlorine and produce aluminium chloride, a pale yellow solid. 3Cl2, 2AlCl3, 2Al solid, chlorine gas, and a pale yellow solid. Aluminium chloride is formed, which is a pale yellow solid. We are heating. The reaction with silicon is also performed similarly. We take a sealed tube, a piece of silicon, and atmosphere of chlorine, and we heat it in a current of acetylene when silicon is in red hot condition, so that we get silicon tetrachloride is formed. Silicon tetrachloride is formed, Si solid plus Cl2 gas, heat 2Cl2 gas, and heat we get SiCl4. SiCl4 is a colorless liquid. Phosphorus reacts with chlorine and produces two types of chlorides. It produces phosphorus trichloride and phosphorus pentachloride. The reaction for phosphorus trichloride is P4 solid plus Cl2, we get PCl3 phosphorus trichloride, which is a colorless fuming liquid. Phosphorus may also react at the same time to give an alternate product, which is phosphorus pentachloride. And phosphorus pentachloride is a straw colored solid. It is a solid which is straw colored solid. Thus phosphorus reacts to produce a mixture of phosphorus trichloride, which is a colorless fuming liquid, and phosphorus pentachloride, which is a straw colored solid. Sulfur reacts with chlorine and produces sulfur monochloride, or which may be called disulfur dichloride. The reaction is S plus Cl2, heat S2Cl2. Disulfur dichloride is a bad smelling or foul smelling liquid. These are the chemical properties of period 3 elements and their reactions with water, oxygen and chlorine. Allah Hafiz for today.